What's going on, Laker fans? My name is Noel Sanchez. You can follow me at Noise by Noel. And today I'm joined by a very special guest. Say what's up to the people, buddy.
What's going on, guys? My name is Ricardo Buddy Sandoval, but my friends call me Buddy. You can follow me on Twitter at _Ricardo Sand.
Hey, very, very special day today. We had a whole show planned today around Christian Wood, potentially coming to the Lakers. We were ready to call this video the ultimate Christian Wood Lakers guide. But then on the way to film the show, we all got that notification.
That's right.
The NBA schedule was released. More specifically, your Los Angeles Lakers found out who they're going to be playing, when they're going to be playing, where we're going to be able to watch the games. We're going to have a lot of games to look forward to this season. So, what's your immediate reaction to these games, buddy? What do you think about the narratives going around right now?
My immediate reaction was the back-to-back games. 15 of them, which is quite a lot, which is 4 more than last year. Last year they had 11, now they have 15. And also to just the way the season, the in-season tournament is arranged. Looks like they're going to spread them out through November, and then it's going to be finalized in December. So that's pretty weird. It's going to be pretty odd mixed in with the other games as well. But almost time for Laker basketball, and I know me and you could not be more excited for that.
Definitely. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're new here. We're going to be trying to get these videos out to you guys multiple times a week, especially as the season gets closer. We're all having a great time watching Austin Reeves play for Team USA.
Definitely.
But that's only going to heat up as we get closer to October. We're going to have preseason. We're going to have game 1 of the season in Denver. We're going to be watching the Nuggets get their championship rings. For the second straight season, we're going to see the defending champs get ringed up, get their hardware. What's your reaction to that? I know we found that out a couple of days ago, but now that we know exactly who the Lakers are going to play in all throughout the year, do you think that the Lakers are going to come in with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder this season?
Definitely, man. Just the way it ended, obviously all 4 games came down to the wire, and just you didn't think that the Denver Nuggets would be, I guess, talking their talk like they did, especially Coach Mike Malone. But I think this could build into something. Jokic is in the prime of his career. Jamal Murray is coming off probably his best season. You have LeBron and AD. What are they going to prove? I know they have a ton to prove. You have LeBron saying that he wants to retire. He's coming back. AD and his health is still an issue. Is he going to be able to play more than 55 games like he did last year, right? There's going to be a lot of storylines going into this one, and this is a rivalry that's going to brew. This is something that we're going to be looking forward to. I don't know how many times they play, 3-4 times maybe?
Yeah.
All these 3 or 4 matchups are going to be something to look forward to, and hopefully, in all those 3 or 4 matchups, LeBron James and Anthony Davis are playing.
100%, and that is the money maker right there. That is what everybody wants to see. We all saw what Anthony Davis was able to do in the 16 postseason games. Averages of 22 points, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks. That is incredible basketball right there. And he was on a tear up until he ran into the eventual champions, the Denver Nuggets. But real quick, guys, beyond just subscribe to the channel, please make sure you hit that like button. It's going to help us tremendously. Smash that notification bell so you can stay up to date every time we give you guys new content. And above all else, please tune into alllakers.com. We have some excellent writers. Me and Buddy both write for the site. And also our guy, Matt Levine, already dropped an article, and he titled it, Ranking the Top 5 Lakers Regular Season Games for 2023 to 2024. So I'm going to drop that link right here. Make sure you guys check it out. But just to give you guys a little preview, obviously at number 1, he has the Denver Nuggets, that opening night game. Going to be very special. Then coming in at number 2, he has the Christmas game, a very cherished, historic game against the Boston Celtics, and it's going to be at home for us. What do you think about that matchup?
It's the Lakers and it's the Celtics. It is the greatest NBA rivalry of all time. You could argue it is the greatest rivalry in the history of sports. But these 2 storied franchises going at it once again. First time they're going to play each other in Christmas since 2008, when the Lakers got the revenge when they lost to them in the 2008 NBA Finals. So that's going to be something to look forward to as well. Hopefully, once again, I know I'm going to be sounding like a broken record, LeBron James, Anthony Davis. Hopefully they play, because these past couple years, Anthony Davis hasn't been able to make it into Christmas Day. Hopefully he is able to make it in there. I am a big AD fan, so I am rooting against him. And of course, if you're a Laker fan, you should be rooting for Anthony Davis and his health. Noel, what are your thoughts
I mean,
on
just
that
thinking
one.
about Christmas, my most recent memory was Christian Wood cooking us for 30 points. But
Oh my
we're
God.
going to get into that a little bit later. Like I said,
jeez.
we have a whole Christian Wood segment panned out.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love Christmas games. I mean, I love waking up, having some cookies, some milk, opening
Yes.
some presents. And then, I mean, right after that, you have basketball literally from like 10 a.m. all the way up until
All day.
7, 8 p.m. Like, I mean, we also have other sports going on. We have football at the time.
Yeah.
It's going to
Yeah.
be a good day for sports fans, for Lakers fans. I mean, I'm going to try to get some tickets to this game. Probably
Oh, yeah,
pretty
definitely.
expensive, but I mean, hopefully you guys grow this channel. Give us some gifts,
Yeah,
maybe
maybe.
some super chats in the
We'll
future.
see. We'll see.
Then you could get us over to the games. We'll see. But I mean, I'm very excited for that one. Coming in at number 3, Mr. Matt Levine ranked the January 27th matchup against the Golden State
Mm-hmm.
Warriors. We just had a great matchup against this team in the 2023 playoffs, taking them out in the second rounds.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be without Jordan Poole now. They have Chris Paul instead. Can you believe that? CP3,
Yeah.
Steph Curry
Yeah.
sharing a backcourt.
Never would have thought that, really, especially in those battles they would go through in the late 2010s. All that smack talking. Obviously, two very great competitors, two of the best that we've seen in our generation. That one is good. The one I'm looking forward to more maybe is the February 22nd when they do face the Warriors, because more of the stretch. They're coming back from the All-Star game, and they have 4 teams that made the NBA
Yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah.
So that one's good. But this January 27th one should be good. Prime time, Saturday night game up in the Bay Area. And let's beat them like how we did in the
Yeah,
West, in the
let's
West
do it,
Conference
yeah.
semis, right? I mean, nothing more than that.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. I think something else to note, just like it has been for recent years, the Golden State Warriors have the most national TV games, with coming in at 28, and just behind them is our very own Lakers at 27. I mean, these are 2 teams that make the league the most money.
Yeah.
Primetime TV, you have LeBron James, Stephen Curry, 2 generational basketball players. But, I mean, it kind of does hurt a little bit that we didn't come in
Yeah.
at number 1. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's definitely weird. I mean, maybe because the nation wants to see how Chris Paul and Stephen Curry is going to work. Is Chris Paul going to back up Stephen Curry?
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to work, but the storylines are there, the names are there. So, and the Warriors are still the premier franchise.
Yeah.
Still, what they built over the last 10 years. So
100%.
I guess, I can't be really mad at that. At least it's not Boston. At least
It's not. Yeah, they're behind us at 25. So
Okay.
we're
All
still
right.
ahead of them.
We're
there.
ahead of them.
Just like
That's
hopefully
fine.
we're going to be ahead of them in total championships
Hopefully.
after this season.
That's the goal.
We will see. And also something interesting to note about this national TV game, I guess you call it like list. The San Antonio Spurs have 11. That's the Wemby effect.
That's the
right
Wemby
there.
effect, no
That
doubt
is
about it.
Quite interesting.
Nothing to look forward to there besides Wemby.
Yep. And then also esteemed writer from alllakers.com, Matt Levine, his final 2 slots in his top 5 games to look forward to for the Lakers this year: November 22nd against the Dallas Mavericks and November 1st against the Los Angeles Clippers. I mean, both these teams, I don't think that, I guess the narratives aren't as heavy as they have been in recent
Yeah.
years. Kyrie Irving, obviously he's on Dallas, but he's locked up with them now.
Mm-hmm.
I think with every day that goes on, everybody kind of just throws away the idea of him and LeBron
Yeah.
reunited on the Lakers. Then you have the Clippers, who, I mean, the Battle of LA, it was hyped up for 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
And really, the Clippers had their chances to make it happen in the playoffs. We had our chances to meet them up.
Mm-hmm.
And really, neither side has, I guess, lived up to the actual hype of the battle. So, I mean, those 2 games, they're going to be exciting. I mean,
Yeah,
out of
definitely.
those 2, which one are you looking forward to, buddy?
It has to be the Clippers, man. I mean, even though I don't really buy into the hype of the rivalry per se with the Clippers, but it's always fun because they always get up for us.
Yeah.
Always get up for us, and they're kind of a question mark too, right? I mean, they also have their own injury questions, right?
Yeah.
How's Kawhi going to look? How is Paul George going to look? Are they going to play over 60 games, right? How is Russell Westbrook going to look in a full season with them? I even almost forgot about Russell Westbrook until I started talking about the Clippers right now, right? And then, if they're healthy, they could be a top 4 team in the West. They could probably be a top 5 team in the entire league. Right,
100%.
And hopefully that is along with your Lakers. So we'll see that. And then the Mavericks, we don't expect them to repeat that type of season, right? I mean, we expect them to be in the NBA playoffs once again with Luka Doncic and with Kyrie Irving. I mean, you think about those 2 names alone. I mean, that should take you to the playoffs,
100%,
right?
100%.
But they gave up a lot for that, and we're gonna see how that goes. How is Derek Lively gonna fit in, right? So. Those matchups should be very interesting, and I cannot wait to see those happen.
Yep. And speaking of the Dallas Mavericks, I think this is the perfect time for us to kind of shift gears. we were super excited to get that Lakers schedule for the season, being able to see who they're going to face off against throughout the year, how many back-to-backs. That's something to look forward to. But we're going to move into the second part of this video now, which is what I'm calling Laker fans' ultimate guide to Christian Wood. This is the biggest free agent by far left on the market.
Yeah.
Someone that has been linked to LA. I mean, ever since the first few days of free agency passed and we signed all those players. Ever since Rob Pelinka said that the Lakers' #1 goal for the rest of the summer was to sign a big man, which they have not done so yet. I mean, looking at his 2023 stats, they passed the eye test completely. 16.6 points per game, 7.3 rebounds per game, 37% from three and 51% from the field, all in just 26 minutes per game.
Oh.
I mean, he should be an ideal fit next to Kyrie and Luka. So, I mean, just him not getting that interest from the Dallas Mavericks back, that has raised red flags all around. But,
definitely.
I mean, just him as a player, what do you think about him, buddy?
Yeah, Christian Wood, I think he could help us out in a big way. He is a stretch. He is a stretch 4, stretch 5, wherever you want to put him. His defense is a little bit questionable, but I think in terms of the offensive end, I think it helped us out tremendously. Anthony Davis is not the same player he is in terms of his shooting.
Exactly.
When we first got him. So that worked perfectly with guys like JaVale McGee, guys like Dwight Howard, because they could dominate the paint. He could do his thing on the outside. Now, Anthony Davis, if you were to bring in a Christian Wood per se, you could have him out stretch 5, stretch 4, whatever, and you could have him do his thing on the outside, go to work, the post game, the midi, the 3, he could do all that. And Anthony Davis could be there to clean up the boards, or hey, if you want to slow down the game, throw it in Anthony Davis. And, just let him do his thing.
Yep.
If he gets doubled, which 9 times out of 10, he's going to get doubled, pass it out to Christian Wood, pass it back out to Austin Reeves, D'Lo, LeBron, So this could work on the offensive end, defensive end. Still a little bit of question marks there.
Definitely, yeah. We're going to get into defense. We're going to get into, reported locker room fit, just being able to adapt to the system. But first off, we're going to take a look at his positives. Like Buddy said, he could be tremendous offensive talent. He can completely change the whole outlook of our team. He could give us another scoring big that, have the Lakers ever had someone of his skill set at his size other than Anthony Davis since they got Bron and AD together?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to think of.
I think, we had, like you said, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee. We had Andre Drummond, Marc Gasol for a little bit, but we really haven't found another scoring big like Christian Wood.
Yeah.
He shot at least 37% from deep each year when he played at least 40 games. He has an offensive rating of over 116 last year when Dallas played him and Luka together, showing that he can fit with an offensive superstar like Luka Doncic.
Yep.
And like I said, he showed out against LA on Christmas. That was kind of like, I think Rob Pelinka, he likes to look ahead. I think he was looking at how he played back then and kind of just taking notes like, this guy could be available in the summer. He dropped 30 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. He took over when the Mavericks needed him to. And like I said, I think he would just bring a whole new look to LA's front court. How do you think he could fit in along with Jackson Hayes and Anthony Davis? Do you think Wood would be the potential starter over Hayes?
Yeah, that'll be kind of tough. I don't really see him maybe starting the beginning of the year, but I could maybe see a shift into that, right? He could be coming off the bench, and if he shows up and he shows out and he fits perfectly with Anthony Davis, which I think he can, at least on the offensive end, I think that he could eventually start. And also, too, it depends what Darvin Ham's going to look at, right?
Yeah.
To start the game, does he want a little bit more punch on the offensive end? All right, then you start Christian Wood. If you want some defense, you'll probably go with Jackson Hayes mainly. He is a little bit more athletic. His offense is not to the level of Christian Wood. So I think it just all depends on Darvin Ham, on how the games start, on how they want them to start, on how they want them to end, right? But if they were to get him, I don't expect them to start, at least in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, like Darvin Ham, like everybody within the Lakers has been saying, they're going to take training camp very seriously this year. They have a lot of, positions that are kind of up for grabs. You have D'Angelo Russell, Gabe Vincent fighting for that starting spot.
That's right.
You have Rui Hachimura and Jared Vanderbilt trying to showcase if they'll be a better fit. Maybe Rui is going to be better off the bench again. Maybe Jared Vanderbilt, all that work with assistant coach Phil Handy is going to pay off. But, looking at Jackson Hayes, this is someone that Jovan Buha, the Athletic, has been reporting that LA is very high on him starting next to Anthony Davis. And like you were saying, buddy, AD hasn't been the shooter that we knew from the 2020 season. So I think it's going to be very interesting if AD continues to kind of, I think more go towards the inside of the paint
Yeah.
because that's going to cause a lot of jamming with someone like Jackson Hayes, who he's a lanky big man that can catch lobs and block shots. But
Yeah, that's true.
Let's be real here. His offensive game needs polishing, and he needs to get better at guarding the perimeter. So that's going to be very interesting. I think if the Lakers are able to sign Christian Wood, you're giving AD 2 different big men to help him based on who you're going up against, like you said. So, I mean, I think Wood is a better fit due to the spacing, but Hayes makes sense to kind of to be more that reserve big.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
It's going to come down to that training camp. But from what you've seen from Christian Wood over the years, what do you see as far as him fitting into a contending team like the Lakers? Because he hasn't really played for a real contending team ever since the Bucks back in 2019, and that was only for like 13 games, so I don't really count that.
No, yeah, you definitely can't count that. Wow, yeah, he's been with the Pistons,
Rockets.
no good there. Rockets, yeah. It could be something that could maybe lift him up, right?
Yeah.
He's probably used to something that's not very good, and all of a sudden he goes to a franchise with immense expectations, with championship level expectations. How is he gonna perform? Right? The way I see it, this could only elevate his game. You're playing against LeBron James, arguably the greatest player of all time. You're playing with Anthony Davis, a two-force wrecking crew. I don't care what you guys think about Anthony Davis. He is what he is. He is among the greats.
Exactly.
That alone could only lift you up, right? And then his type of game, what he could bring to the floor, I think that should only propel him to reach his full potential as a player. Well, how old is he? He's only, 26, 27 years old?
He is
or
still
something
young.
like that, right?
He's going to, so when he signs with the team, I'm just assuming he's not going to go back to the Mavericks. This is going to be his 8th team. So it feels like he's been around forever. But, I mean, I think, well, let's fact check that real
27
quick.
years old.
There you go. He's about to enter the prime years of his career. So if there's any time for him to really prove to the world and prove to an organization like the Lakers what he can do, the time is now.
Definitely.
He's, I don't think he's ever had a whole lot of injuries that have harnessed any part of his game. He doesn't really rely on athleticism like that. You want to see him get some more, I mean, what's the word? Lateral quickness in order to stay up to players. I mean, we were playing against Spencer the other day, and we were trying to get our own lateral quickness there. Spencer was kind of just blowing past us, getting those mid-ranges.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Don't worry, Wood. We know it's going to take some doing, but the Lakers have an excellent training staff, and I mean, his reputation around the league is interesting because I think with this new collective bargaining agreement, that's why he isn't being offered more than a veteran minimum by the Lakers and by other teams. So I think you look at someone like a Malik Monk, you look at someone like a Lonnie Walker, you look at someone like a Cam Reddish who's going to be coming in, and they all have had opportunities to kind of rebuild their reputations within the organization.
Yeah.
The Lakers know what they're doing. Even though they're not the best when it comes to developing young talent off the bat and keeping them, they know what they're doing as far as giving someone the platform to perform.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. With the Lakers, there's no better spot to highlight that, right? I mean, this is do or die. This is the franchise of the NBA, whether you like it or not. I mean, they are the team, and you're gonna if you're gonna show up, people are gonna know about it. If you're not gonna play good, people are gonna talk about it, and people are gonna know about it as well. So yeah, I mean, this is the time for Christian Wood. If he wants to win, if he wants to showcase his talent, if he wants another big deal period.
Yep.
This is the time to do it. Christian Wood, where you at, my boy?
I know, I even think of someone like JaVale McGee, who was just always on Shaq and Fool before he came with the Lakers, who was always looked at as someone that was really athletic but couldn't really play the game the right way, couldn't help teams win games. I mean, he had his time with the Golden State Warriors, and that's when his reputation started changing, started showing that, hey, I'm coming to this dynasty, and even though they're a really good team, I can stay on the court, I can impact winning. And then he comes to the Lakers at a very interesting time when we get LeBron James.
Yeah.
Sticks around for that 2020 championship season. And then we also get Dwight Howard, who was in a very, very interesting point of his career. He was with the Wizards for very, very little
Memphis,
time.
I believe.
Memphis too. Yeah. Never played a game. Never
Hornets.
He was bouncing around the league. But Anthony Davis and LeBron James co-signed him coming, and they were able to kind of, I wouldn't say put him in check, but they were able to show him that, hey, you're here with us, so you got to get to business. So same thing with Christian Wood. He's a lot younger than both of them, has potential on the offensive end to be greats. Therefore, we have to get into the negatives now because, like I said, this is the ultimate guide for the Los Angeles Lakers fans for Christian Wood. So first off, we got to talk about defense.
The defense.
So Mavericks coach Jason Kidd clearly wasn't willing to play Wood just for offense, and he had him off the bench immediately to start the year. And there were so many times at the end of games where fans were like saying, like, hey, we have a scoring big man. Why isn't he in the game?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think his defense is going to harm him next season if he does sign with LA?
It can, man. With Darvin Ham, you need to play defense. We've seen that last year with D'Angelo Russell. Even though he gave, I believe the leash with D'Angelo Russell was a little bit longer than it should have been, but I think Darvin Ham's going to learn from that. If Christian Wood eventually is a Laker, I don't think that leash is going to be that long like it was with D'Lo. He needs to be able to play defense to stay on the floor, or at least he needs to be able to give the effort to play defense, right? I mean, you have Anthony Davis, who is, when healthy, the best defender in the game. LeBron James, when he plays defense, even still at his age, he could still look like a great defender, right? You have Austin Reeves who gives it 110%, Rui, Vando, and all that, right? Is he going to be able to mesh with them? That is going to be the biggest question mark. We cannot answer that right now. I wish we could. I think if that wasn't a question mark, I think he would have been signed back in July.
Yep.
Or maybe even a little bit after the big signings went down.
Yeah.
So that is going to be the big question mark. Noah, how do you see him? I mean, do you see him have a turnaround season if he's with the Lakers on the defensive side?
I mean, yeah, ever since, I tuned into a lot of those Rockets games back in like 2020, 2021, because when they signed John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins, I was really intrigued in seeing how like they were going to mesh with their young core they had. But then Christian Wood completely took over DeMarcus Cousins' role. He was the starting big man. And then once he got traded to the Dallas Mavericks, like I said, that seemed like the perfect big man for Luka Doncic for when Kyrie Irving came through. That's right. I mean, Mavs GM Nico Harrison took like a very interesting dig at him right before free agency. And I feel like it was almost to mess up his stock because in his exit interview, when asked about Christian Wood, all he said was, just because you're an efficient scorer, there's more to the game than that. Which,
That's facts.
there's not that. He said a lot without having to say a lot.
Yeah.
Like Christian Wood, for his career, he has a 111.9 defensive rating. And he also posted the worst rating of his career with 113 last year. So whenever he was on the court, his net total showed that if he stayed on the court for an entire game, the Mavericks were going to give up 113 points. So that is not something that you really want to see. But he's going to be playing alongside Anthony Davis. In my opinion, the best defender in the league. The Lakers, they have made tremendous strides over the past few years when it comes to their defensive game plans. And we've seen so many contending teams able to mask the worst defender on their team. Really, all you want with Christian Wood is to become average. You don't need him to be like, all defense. You don't need him to be blocking shots like crazy. But he averaged a block per game last year. So there's that. He has potential on that end of the floor. And he just needs to be able to kind of show that he can stay with guards. He can hedge. Yeah. He could play on big men, not just get bullied down and not just lose composure.
Yeah, most definitely. I think he could, that 1.1 blocks per game, that really threw me by surprise. And that was without Mavericks. That was without another intimidating type of big.
Like,
you could argue
Maxi Kleber.
Yeah.
The other big men had an injury. So, that's going to be something to keep an eye out for.
But, just real quick. Just now imagine with Anthony Davis, everyone's going to be doing their best to try to take away Anthony Davis. Christian Wood could have that opportunity to showcase that he could do those type of things. I mean, like you said, we don't need him to have a turnaround season and win Defensive Player of the Year, but we do need him to not be a liability.
100%.
That's the big thing.
100%. And I feel like other than the Los Angeles Lakers, the one team that Christian Wood has been linked to is none other than the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
And just like so many other free agents, I look at someone like a Kelly Oubre or a PJ Washington. I'm like, how are these dudes not signed yet? I feel like they're all waiting for the smoke to clear from that Damian Lillard Miami Heat trade rumors.
Yeah.
Because that is the one deal besides the James Harden one that I think everybody is waiting for to go down. And Jovan Buha of the Athletic has reported that Wood is reportedly waiting for Jusuf Nurkic to be involved in the trade or not. Because if Nurkic does go to the Miami Heat, that gives them yet another big man, and that's a role that Christian Wood probably doesn't want to be a part of.
Yeah,
but if they don't land Nurkic, he is confident that he can outplay Thomas Bryant and Kevin Love and land a role there. So what do you think? Do you think the Miami Heat is a place that Christian Wood will potentially choose over the Lakers?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, you have the coacher, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're the coacher. It's Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo. We've seen what they did last year. We've seen what they have done with Jimmy Butler in his tenure with Miami. Or just not even that, just the Miami Heat in general in the past 15, 20 years, right? So you cannot blame him for wanting to go to Miami. And I mean, the weather there, you have everything that is accessible. That you would want as an NBA player in reality. If it's not Los Angeles, it's Miami. And I think too, I mean, this wouldn't be this wouldn't be like a big loss for the Lakers, I think. I mean, obviously Christian Wood is a fantastic player, but if we were to, I feel like it'll be bigger if we were to get him than if we were to lose him.
Yeah.
In a way, right? But you know, if he's a free agent, so if he wants to go to Miami, I mean, more or wherever he wants to go, more power to him.
Yeah, I definitely don't think our season is make or break if we don't get Christian Wood. I think it would be very, very nice to have him.
Yes.
I do think that seeing that Miami Heat are in a different conference than us, that's why I'm not going to lose sleep if they get him. I think it would be a pretty nice team if you get Damian Lillard, Jimmy Butler. And I think Wood might think that he could have more offensive opportunities next to someone like a Bam Adebayo than an Anthony Davis because there's a clear skill gap and I think responsibility gap between those two players. But finally, the last thing that we do need to talk about is Christian Wood's attitude, because while neither of us know him personally, we can only go based off of reports. And seeing that LA's chemistry is better than ever, do you think that if Christian Wood was given a smaller role than he hopes, or seeing that he's on a veteran minimum contract and he's trying to play for his future, do you think that he may kind of start fizzling out or have a bad response if he starts getting less minutes on a Lakers team?
Yeah, I mean, you would hope not, right? I mean, if he does come to Lakers, you know that they are in championship mode, they're championship level. So that takes sacrifices. Not everyone's going to play 20 minutes per game, right? That's the perfect world. It's a perfect world. But you know, if he's not getting the time that he deserved, that he feels like he deserves, but he's not playing up to par on the defensive end or maybe in the offensive end, you know, that's not someone the Lakers need. We kind of went, I mean, not kind of, but you know, with Russ and his kind of attitude and things like that, you don't want to relive that, right? I mean,
you already have plenty of noise being in Los Angeles.
Yes.
All the eyes on you, all the media trying to spin up quotes and everything. So, but the last thing you do need is actual like tension within the locker room, especially for Lakers who want to go the full mile. I think Darvin Ham could probably connect with him better than past coaches though, like Steven Silas or Jason Kidd. Yeah. At least, you know, Darvin has that experience under his belt with 100%. Giannis, you know, and then finally a year under his belt. Yeah, I'm not too sure if Darvin Ham was around when Christian Wood was part of the Bucks. 2019, I believe it was. Yeah. Okay, well, that could probably be right there. So that would be nice to see. And I do think that LA's depth is quite nice outside of big men. So we're going to have to see how Wood reacts to certain lineups, whether he chooses to go small ball, whether he chooses to go a little more athletic and defensive base with Jackson Hayes. But we are going to have to see, fellas. All we know right now is who the Lakers are going to be playing. We got that schedule down. Very, very excited for all of that. I've been tuning into Winning Time, and I see Buddy got the old school jersey right there. So, I mean, shout out Winning Time, shout out HBO, shout out everybody in the Lakers community. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's going to help us a ton. You don't want to miss any of these coming videos. Tune into alllakers.com. My name is Noel Sanchez. You can follow me at Noise by Noel. This is Ricardo Buddy Sandoval. You can check him out at @_Ricardo Sand on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Have a blessed one. See you guys next time. Peace.